Megavon and friends, welcome to another episode of the Lord of the Wrongs podcast, the only Tolkien podcast the professor himself would dismiss as juvenile and crass, or one of the only ones. My name is Dan Zerby.
And I'm Sean Kelly.
And together we'll be discussing the writings, adaptations, news, games, and everything else regarding J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium in a way he would definitely find distasteful.
And we're actually doing that today,
I can't
Zerby.
believe, yeah, we're really doing that. We're covering almost all of those things. Actually, all of those things.
We're making good on our sort of call to action thing here.
Yeah, that's right.
In a way,
and
that
also
we
we're back after not putting out an episode for 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, between various bouts of illness and life things happening,
stuff going on. Yeah, I had to make a DMV appointment. That was terrible.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Zerby.
I have to drive to Waterbury too. It's really annoying. Anyway.
Yeah, I had to spend a couple months hunting for a creature that was rumored to be connected to the greatest object of evil that the age has ever known. Oh, wow. Wait, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds familiar.
Sorry, I was just... I was just sort of projecting there. That was Aragorn who did that, wasn't it?
It was Aragorn. But before we get into Aragorn, you have some splaining to do.
Oh, I was hoping I could just skip past that, but
no, it's not going to happen, bud. I gotta.
All right,
listen. The people trust us as a source of valuable and accurate information, and
yeah, we need to uphold that and fix our reputation here. So I did say
we're journalists.
Sort of tabloid level right now, but maybe after this we can.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah. We so I may have mentioned that something along the lines of Rohan being based off of sort of the culture of horse girls.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fully walk this one back. I will say there is some horse girl energy there.
There is definitely some horse girl energy.
Yeah,
definitely some
the shield
Frank
maidens
kind of imagery.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's shield maidens are just horse girls back when they could use swords,
kill you,
and stuff like that. Yeah, if we gave horse girls swords today,
well, they could also kill you. I guess anybody most people with a sword. Those horse girls, they could do it from horseback. So,
that wasn't overall though not true. So it's what it is. My bad.
It happens.
Yeah. We'll have a much truer fact at the end of this one for you, I'm sure. But until then, why don't we talk about the movie that was teased that I was trying to.
Yeah. Well, avoid your responsibilities.
Shirk my responsibilities to talk about.
So we're getting more to Lord of the Rings movies, guys. How cool is that? I'm actually, we'll see how cool it ends up actually being, I suppose. But I'm excited for it. You're excited for it. Sean is excited for it. Those are the people that matter. Us and those of you listening to this.
I'm always here for more Lord of the Rings content because
even if it's not good, it's still
you can just not watch it.
Yeah, it's I usually still have fun hate watching. That's why I watch the Hobbit movies every few years.
Yeah.
Oh God, so bad.
It's like you
but
get
that part's pretty good.
Yeah, you get these sparks of satisfaction and wish fulfillment, and then some rage,
disappointment.
Yeah, but it's still in that world, and you're getting to see more of it. So
it is, and we're seeing, and so it's the film is going to be The Hunt for Gollum, and Peter Jackson. His wife and writing partner Fran Walsh and his other writing partner Philippa Bowens are producing and writing it,
which is promising. Great. Yeah,
it is. And then to top that ice cream sundae off with the cherry, Andy Serkis is not only back as Gollum, but he will be directing the movie. I did not see one of the only other things he's directed, Venom 2 or whatever, but
Oh, was it Venom 2?
I
Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't
but I
seen
didn't.
it.
No one
I,
saw it, I don't think. But if nothing else, I don't think the problem with that movie was the directing. That's not what I heard the issues were. So
yeah,
doesn't mean
I
Andy
I
Serkis
don't
can't
doubt that.
direct. Uh,
Yeah, I'm
I think
just
it's a good
excited
idea.
because he's passionate about it, and obviously,
Oh yeah,
the writers are passionate and everything. So
yeah. I
we
mean,
can
they
hope.
yeah, we can hope. And if nothing else, I think it's fair to say that the Lord of the Rings adaptations, the Peter Jackson movies are kind of the gold standard of Lord of the Rings adaptations because the movies that they've done, like The Hobbit
We're
animated,
good.
and well, they're fun to watch, but they're not very good.
Yeah,
but
yeah, but
but yeah, Peter Jackson ones were good movies.
those were
Um,
good. Yes.
yeah. So
Um,
I'm very optimistic. I don't have any reason to be nervous about these. We'll talk about
no,
things we might
certainly
be
not.
nervous about later in the episode. You guys might know where we're going with that one, but
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
but I think, well, so to lay out the basic sort of summary of the
yeah,
point of this movie. So there's if you only watch the movies, it's not very clear that there's a large time break between Gandalf leaving, or Bilbo leaving the Shire, and Gandalf leaving Frodo with the ring and instructions to keep it secret and safe and all that.
yeah.
And
And when he actually comes back to the Shire,
when he comes back and
the second
Frodo has to
chapter of the book,
leave,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, it's
it's
like
how
17 years, 20 years, something like that.
yes, yeah,
It's a long time. Yeah, like Frodo is Bilbo's age when he went on his adventure. So he was 50 years old and he
it
was
was this
33. So it was 18
33,
years,
yeah.
right? Did I do the math
Yeah,
right? 30,
yeah,
17 years.
17.
17 years.
Close
Yeah.
enough. Well,
Yeah.
it was his
So
50th.
it's a
Anyway,
long time. And a lot
so
happens in that time.
yeah, during that time, Gandalf is he's got other stuff to do, obviously, but
He is Gandalf,
he's
yes.
doing a lot of research about the ring, and he sort of figures out like, oh, Gollum had it, and I need to figure out where Gollum is, and he just
Yeah.
cannot get him, and so he ends up sending the greatest huntsman of the age to go find
You're
him.
goddamn right. It's
And
Aragorn.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's Aragorn in case you didn't.
Yeah.
So that's the basic setup of
Yeah.
this, the plot of this movie, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for it because it's
Yeah, me
also,
too.
it's not, it doesn't have like it has stakes, but they're not the like
Yeah.
epic stakes of
Lord of the
certain
Rings,
other
yeah.
stories, and it has a sort of a contained plot that they,
Yeah. I think
there's a story to be
yeah.
told.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really it's going to be a different feeling movie, I bet. Like Lord of the Rings films are like really they're epic, right? They're huge, like they feel huge. And this one I hope is actually has like more of an intimate feeling when you're watching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure
then we
there
can
will
kind of like
be action
yeah.
scenes and all
Oh,
that,
there's going to be
but
plenty of that for sure. But yeah, I think it's just like it's a cool opportunity to see parts of this story in that not only that a lot of people might not be familiar with because it's mostly in the books, which a lot of people still haven't read, um, or they're in the appendices. So to be able to actually like see these in a different way than we're actually used to, like with just a bigger
yeah,
tone.
yeah.
I,
And
yeah,
also
I don't
it's
know.
more like character focused is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Well, I mean, Lord of the
compared
Rings
to
is pretty
the,
character focused too, but
yeah, but
it's more intimate. It's
yeah,
going to have to be more
it's not
intimate. I think that's the
there
cool thing.
isn't a protagonist in
Yes,
Lord of the
right.
Rings either,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well, I mean, Frodo's like the protagonist, but he's not the only
sort of.
protagonist, you know?
But there's also what, like, four other stories jumping around too. Yeah, so either way, I'm excited. It comes out in 2026, right?
That's what they're shooting for. Obviously, they haven't even started filming. I'm assuming they they have funding and a script, obviously. So,
Yeah.
and a
And
director. So,
they mentioned another movie that is going to be made at some point that we have
yeah, they
zero
said they're
info
going to
on.
be making multiple films, is what they said. and we'll just have to see
How
what
that
those end up
goes.
being. I mean, I'm assuming the Jackson, Walsh, Boyens team is going to be producing all of those. But if they're
So
we'll
I
see if they
did.
actually end up writing it too. It might be they might have some other writers trying to do some stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
I
I'm
saw
excited for the possibilities here,
an
though.
answer in an interview where somebody was saying that they were thinking about dragons. So possibly the War of the
Ooh,
Dwarves versus the Dragons, something along those lines.
yeah, it'd be
Because it
something
can't
out
be a
of
Silmarillion thing.
yeah. It's like I said, it's got to be out of
Lord of the
out of
Rings appendices,
the
something like
appendices
that.
if it's not
Or
explicitly described in the book. Yeah,
yeah, there's not much else going on in The Hobbit that hasn't already
yeah.
been
I mean, they
covered.
reference Gondolin, and that's kind of it for
Yeah.
references outside of the Third Age in that particular story. But yeah,
Well, anyway, so there's one other thing that's still on our radar. Not much has changed, but the War of the Rohirrim is
yes,
coming
correct.
relatively soon.
Yes,
So
I think it's
it's
still
exciting.
slated for
December
yeah, I
of
think mid-December
2024.
of this year, yeah.
Um,
So a few months from now, we'll see. I'm already on their IMDb page. They did release a couple more photographs, somewhat recently.
yeah,
Um, so
I don't know if they're
expected release
concept
date,
art or
yeah, or if they're actual images from the film. I thought they were images from the film, but I'm realizing also we've seen some of these already. But
yeah. I
the
mean, either
expected
way,
release
it
date,
looks awesome.
it does look really, really, really cool. The expected release date is the 13th of December. So we'll see. That could
Okay.
easily change. But yeah, if you want to see these images, it's on their the IMDb page for War of the Rohirrim. You get some really cool shots of Oliphants and the Haradrim
And Helm Hammerhand, which
and Helm
is
Hammerhand.
gonna be. I mean, if I had to make a prediction, probably the best part of this anime.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
looks pretty cool. Although this image,
sorry, not anime. I guess
it
animated
looks
series.
it well, it is. This is an anime though.
Is it
Like,
Japanese?
yeah, yeah. The
Oh,
director is the guy who does it's Kenji Kamiyama,
oh yeah. Look at that.
who is
All
known
right, never mind.
for
It is
some
anime.
animes that I've definitely never seen, but some people who like animes certainly seen, like
Blade Runner.
Akira. I've even heard of that. Napping Princess, Eden of the East.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Ghost in
Well,
the Shell. He wrote the Ghost in the Shell stuff, I guess,
if he
or the
worked on
screenplay
Akira, that's
at
kind
least.
of like the granddaddy of anime, from what I understand. I'm not really
Yeah,
well versed in that world,
I
so
know. I'm not an anime fan.
it's
It just as a rule, not as a rule, but
I tried watching it once and it was I'll be honest, it was a little slow for me at the time, but
yeah,
if I had some time to set out and actually take my time and pay attention to it, I should
yeah,
watch it one of these days.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's exciting.
yeah. Just some cool stuff happening, and then well, there's a whole mess of new news in terms of the gaming. Or are we ready to
Yeah.
move on to the gaming? Right?
Yeah, the world
I
of
mean,
video games is
there's a lot happening here.
there's good and bad for
Yeah, there's some troubling
Lord of the
news,
Rings stuff.
potentially troubling news, I guess, more than we should say it's actually. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Well, why don't we start with that stuff and get it out of the way, and then we can talk about the sort
Yeah,
of
because it's also
hopeful.
kind of boring, like real world shit. So the Embracer Group is the gaming conglomerate that has the rights to the Lord of the Rings, at least the gaming aspect of it. And they recently cut 8% of its global workforce. So they like fired hundreds of people. And they just dumped a ton of games that they were working on currently. I guess they were in financial trouble. So what they ended up doing is splitting the Embracer Group into three separate publicly held companies. They'll be called Asmodee and Coffee Stain and Friends are two of them, and then it'll be Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, and obviously that's the company that's going to be making these games.
So hopefully,
Uh,
if it's a dedicated studio, we might be seeing some more
yeah,
stuff from them.
yeah. and
but
hopefully that
it's
will
hard to tell.
improve. Yeah, and it'll hopefully improve the quality of the games, and they'll end up being better than the Gollum
Yeah,
game.
yeah, you never know. The gaming industry is not in the best spot right now because I think a lot of places were like operating through COVID and stuff, and
Right.
after that kind of bubble popped, I think they've been in trouble. So hopefully it works out for them. It's definitely obviously a bummer that a bunch of people lost their jobs,
Yeah.
and hopefully these people can work on games that they're actually passionate about, and there's not too much oversight
And they're not
because
just
who knows.
And obviously, like, listen, these are things that only get made, whether it's a movie or or a video game. Like, they're made to make money.
Yeah.
So obviously, that's always going to, like, the idea that's like, do you think this is a cash grab? It's like, yeah, that's what the whole business is. Of course, it's a
Yeah,
cash
that's
grab.
kind of the point.
It's like, if they didn't think it was going to make money, they wouldn't make it. They don't care about like making sure that Tolkien gets
Yeah.
adaptations and stuff.
Yeah.
They
So
care
at
about
least
making their money.
certainly the
A-
publishers and stuff,
right.
but
And you
this
hope that
it's
people
kind of a fight.
Yeah, and you hope that, especially now that this is a little more concentrated now, that the artists that they have working on these things to make money are passionate about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
source material and
I would
are
guess they
excited to
are.
be working on the projects and not,
I think if you're going to get into programming and stuff like that, you're not going into video games for the money because you could just be working like cybersecurity or doing like coding and definitely do better for yourself. So yeah, well, hopefully we'll see some
I'll have to take your
interesting
word
stuff
for
out of
that.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah. The point being, if you could choose any career path with a proficiency with
yeah,
programming, you're not going to choose video games for the money. But
yeah.
um,
I have one of my best friends would have been a good person to ask for this, and he does listen to this podcast. Shout out, Paul. What up, dude?
uh, so while we're on the topic of bummers, not you, Paul. Let's talk about so really quick. We had mentioned in the previous video games episode a
Right, yeah.
mobile game, Heroes of Middle Earth, that was
Right.
I don't know how you even describe what these are, but it's just you kind of like fight with a team of guys, and you're trying to like level up those guys so you can challenge harder and harder enemies and everything. But
There's a lot of games
this,
like that out
yeah,
right now. I mean, it's like
it's
they
hard
advertise them
to,
all the time on Instagram. Where I'm sure everybody's seeing them on lots of different apps and stuff.
but
Advertisements for these.
they just lost support for the game, or they stopped supporting the game. So
Yeah. So sorry, bummer for you if you liked playing that game.
yeah, and if you spent money on it, which these things are
Yeah.
kind of designed to slurp money out of you, and
Yeah. In-game purchases are a
yeah, definitely a big part of that
big
world.
moneymaker.
Which like that's fine if you want to do that or whatever. You probably shouldn't be spending a couple grand like
Yeah, I
some
mean
people
that's
do,
not a
but
good use of your money. I don't want to tell people how to spend their money, but don't do that. Do
I think
literally
that's
anything else
unwise.
with that.
But yeah, there is a reason we have jobs, and sometimes it's just enjoy things we like and enjoy doing more. But
Yes,
if you spent money on that, now you
it's
it
gone.
was just
And
it's
it
gone.
was money you spent on something that would have been gone anyway. It wasn't even real. It was digital.
Well, we could avoid that sort of philosophical conversation and
I mean, we could, but should we? Don't we have a responsibility as journalists to?
You're throwing this journalists term around a lot, and I don't know how comfortable I am with that because I do some research.
I mean, we're also doing research on something fictional, so
yeah. So take any facts with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's right.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the Amazon MMO that
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, we I think we mentioned it in the last.
We
Uh,
did. We did. I don't think there's been much of an update since May of last year, though, on that.
yeah, it's tough. I think all this restructuring and stuff means there's just not. I don't know how much stuff has actually been in development. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
in development if they mentioned it, but so we haven't heard about any other games really. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. As I have previously stated, I'm not really a big MMO guy, but
Yeah.
if it's
If it's good, you could be, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
if
There
it's
are
good,
always
it's good.
exceptions. Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings Online is like the current MMO that's
Yeah.
been
Lotro.
around for
I mean,
like
almost probably 20 years now,
probably
right? Didn't
20
that start
years.
like
Yeah,
right after the movies came out?
yeah, it was like 2000, like I don't know,
2003 or
8 or
4 or something? Oh, okay,
really
maybe a
is
little
that
later.
long ago? Maybe
I mean,
6.
maybe. I don't know.
2006. Either way, it's
Either
been
way, it was like
15
the
to
mid to
20
late
years.
2000s. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a while.
and they're still updating it and supporting it,
Still
which is
updating it.
crazy.
People still playing it. Yeah,
But I
kind of
just
neat.
couldn't. I can't get into it for just MMO reasons, and it's also like I mean, to me, it shows its age. When I've like tried to play it, it just feels like that kind of goofy,
Yeah.
Warcrafty kind of like running around and floating and jumping and then going and killing some bees to get honey and yeah, I don't know all that stuff. So we'll have to see how much they deviate from the typical MMO formula, but
Yeah.
and I was trying to puzzle out how they were able to make this game with Serby earlier, and we're not really sure because, as you said
Really not.
before, now the rights are with what is it, Middle Earth and
Middle Earth
Games
Enterprises
and
and Friends. Yeah.
Enterprises and Friends.
Yeah.
Weird name for a company, but
I know. That includes also the IP that's intellectual property for Tomb Raider too.
they have that or
Yep. The Embracer Group owns the rights to Tomb
oh,
Raider.
okay. So well, they probably
Well, or yeah, Middle
some
Earth
somebody else
Enterprises
is
and Friends. Yeah.
yeah, somebody else is probably developing that, but that's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what they can even base it on because it would have to be based on the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and appendices and
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or just
I mean,
make a bunch of stuff up and just send like they did with Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
yeah, true. They're just like,
Like,
all right,
why don't
so
we just make up a bunch of bullshit, right?
Mordor's a thing, and we
Yeah.
use the word ranger, and these are orcs, and then you know what? Just have at it, free for all, guys.
Yeah.
This guy's a ghost, and you can make
Yup, which is
people's
why
heads explode.
yep. And this is all based on the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien.
And loosely is in very
As,
fine print.
yeah. Also, Gollum's there because why the hell not?
He was in Mordor at the time, as we saw in the Gollum game. But
Yeah. And we'll
yes,
actually probably see In the Hunt for Gollum, the movie, too, because that's got to start with
oh yeah, him escaping.
him escape, right? Like, that's got to be the beginning of that film.
Yeah, I would guess so.
I hope we see Sauron. That'd be nice. You like never actually see
yeah,
him
that's
as the
true.
antagonist in any of the Jackson movies.
We don't really see him as the antagonist in the books either.
No, we don't. We don't. But we do know that he has like a physical form
guy.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Gollum says that the black hand has only 4 fingers on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Thanks, Isildur.
Oh, do you think Gollum was kind of like subtly name dropping? He's like, yeah, I mean, I met the guy and face to face. And you guys haven't. Oh,
It's
okay.
like, oh yeah. Well, so yeah, you don't know how scared I should or shouldn't be. Stop fucking judging me, you bitch.
It's like, oh, so you're saying that you wouldn't shit your pants if you saw the black hand with 4 fingers on it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, I'm sorry, have you ever been tortured in Barad-dûr? No? No? Okay, then maybe you shut up. You don't know what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I
Also, video game news, I guess. Right? Did you have anything else?
Yeah,
Oh,
loosely in video game news. No, I think we can if you want to talk about the book
yeah.
news coming out.
Oh no, we still have more video game news, my friend.
Oh, which one?
Uh, we have the video game developed by the Weta Workshop, Tales of the
Oh,
Shire.
yeah. Why did I?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even see that. I had that
and
written down. That was the most exciting thing, and I forgot
I know, I know, right?
it.
It's like, oh wow, this is like, so you, if those of you who listened to our video game episode previously know that Sean and I fucking called it on this game,
Yeah, that we
and while they definitely were already in production, I think we have.
maybe
Could
we're
we
already.
sue or just ask for money?
Okay,
We got people
the,
excited before they even announced it, man. I
I
mean,
would normally say yes, but I think we would regret opening ourselves up to sort of
to
like any like
litigation in general.
litigation.
Yeah.
So we should probably just kind of lay low on the legal front. But otherwise, I mean,
Well, laying
we.
low is kind of this podcast thing, so it works perfectly then.
Ouch. But no, we definitely called it, and
We
so I
do
think
love
we
our
at least
listeners,
have the bragging rights of we
right? It's a
said
good idea.
a Shire
I mean,
farming sim,
yeah,
and
it
that's
was. It
what
was
this
obviously
is.
a good idea.
Yeah, this is what this is gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Tales.
So
Did we say
Stardew Valley in the Shire. It
Did we
happened. It's
say
real,
the
guys.
name Tales of the Shire?
I don't think we said it yet.
Yeah. So
It's Tales of
anyway,
the Shire.
yes, Tales of the Shire was announced by Weta Workshop,
Yeah.
and we got a little teaser trailer, and it was, I mean, just some pages of a book blowing around, but
Yeah, pretty much.
it still had me excited. So,
It was cute. Yeah, I mean, it was as cute as you would hope it would be.
and it for those who don't know, Weta Workshop were the ones who did like
Yeah.
pretty much all the special effects in the Jackson trilogy.
Yeah. And
And
also, I mean, yeah, it's like, the amount of things they've done effects for is a
oh
very,
no,
very long list now.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've done plenty of other stuff, but as far as
Yeah.
their relevance
Yeah.
here, and so I mean, if you think about
It's
how
Peter
much,
Jackson's old company. He doesn't own it anymore, but he did start it. He sold
yeah,
it for like $1 billion, I think, too.
yeah, I think they're doing all right for themselves,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they, I mean, if you've seen the care and passion they put into like all the effects from that trilogy and anything else that
Yeah.
they've done, then you'd probably be excited for this game. I don't.
Yeah.
Have they made other video games? I don't think so.
I think this might be the first.
Well, either way, I mean, it is exciting. I I know that we called it, but I'm fine with the idea that they might have started developing it first if we get to actually play a Lord of the Rings game that was made in
Yeah.
the last like 10 years that's actually fun and sort of faithful. Because
Yeah.
it's
It's a simple thing. I mean, how could they screw it up? I shouldn't have
don't
even said that out
yeah,
loud. I'm so
don't say
sorry.
that.
What's wrong
What
with
have you
me?
done?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know how
My
these
God.
you know how our predictions seem to
Go
come to
sideways.
fruition. But
Oh, I
yeah,
love
no,
the images from this game too, though. They're so it looks so cute.
yeah, just
I might even
that's
play
the
this
sort
one.
of thing that's exciting is it's just kind of chilling in the world of
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm a whimsy guy. I'm a big
oh
fan of
yeah,
whimsy, as we've established.
whimsical Willie over here would
That's what they call me.
I I don't I'm rescinding that nickname. We'll workshop that,
It's
but
for the best, I'm sure.
yeah, just getting to hang out in the Shire is and a dream come true seems a little too whimsical even for this, but it's it's exciting and
It's
it's
basically
kind of
what I'm trying to do in real life in my yard. So
yeah, you were just in your garden. What if you could
I was
just
just we should
leave
start
your
recording
plants to
this.
die and
Yeah,
then just play Tales of the Shire for
yeah.
instead for your plant-based satisfaction.
That would be a lot of wasted blood, sweat, tears, and money.
Also, Plant-Based Satisfaction is a good name for a band, if you could
It
write that
really
down.
is. That sing about like animal rights or something.
Or Animal Wrongs.
Ooh.
Okay, sidetracked. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
don't know
that's
what that
we,
even
we've
was.
got some dark stuff and some exciting stuff in the world of video games, but
We sure do.
things are getting shaken up, so we'll
It
have to
is.
see how it
And
shakes out.
yeah, there's new things happening, and that means new opportunities for either hate watching, hate playing, or loving, genuinely loving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could hope for the latter, but
Yeah. I always do. I always hope for the best with these,
yeah, no,
and it's not always.
yeah, not always the case. But as
Yeah.
we've said already, getting to see any more content from this world, it's just nice to. I mean, I think like you can see the effect of Rings of Power, where like it was not a well received
Yeah.
first season, but we're getting this kind of glut of like revival of Lord of the Rings content,
Oh yeah.
which is spurred by that. Whether it's
True. Yeah.
directly it's good or bad, I'm sure good stuff will come of it. So
Yeah. And if nothing else, it brings more people to like the legendarium, and then
yeah,
more people read the
hopefully people
actual
read the
books,
books. Yeah,
and it's then and then that in the turn creates more creative people who are
our
really familiar
fans.
with the
Yeah,
material and can do their own adaptations, and then have that adaptation be taken down by the Warner Brothers company and then
yes.
put back up on
Oh yeah.
YouTube.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
we forgot to mention that, but I
Um,
thought I'd bring it back into that quick
yeah.
little
So
thing.
yeah, to hop back to the beginning really quick. When they announced the Hunt for Gollum, they they released the teaser or announcement or whatever, and in the same stroke they took down the Hunt for Gollum off YouTube, which was a fan film made in 2009.
I think so, yeah. And it was, and fan films, because no one's making any money off of it, I think that's what
Yeah, they're
makes
under
them
fair
like
use.
they're fair use, because yeah, they're not making any money off of it.
Yeah, so like
This is the main reason why
they
it's
have like
okay. Yeah,
they have the rights to distribute the IP basically. But
yeah,
anybody can make stuff with it. It's just you can't really like sell it or use
profit
it
off
in
of it. Yeah,
advertising or anything like
right.
that. That's
Yeah,
gonna
you can't.
end
Yeah,
up
if you make
profiting you.
any money, that money is going to whoever the IP holder actually
Yeah,
is. And
which
in that
is
case, it would be Warner Brothers, I think. Yeah,
why if we anybody was actually listening to this, we can't read
too
actual
much. Yeah.
too many
Well, especially
lines from
us, because
books
it's
and
like,
stuff.
the Prancing Pony podcast does it all the time, but they're also like Tolkien Society award winners.
Yeah,
We are,
they're in with the
and I am a Tolkien
the big
Society
boys.
member, but I don't think this
And
is.
I'm not, but I still don't think they'd like what we do here.
If
So
nothing else, they also would likely find it somewhat distasteful. But whatever the
uh,
fuck, we'll do whatever we want. We're the punk
anyways,
rock Tolkien guys.
yeah, I don't know if I want to claim that,
I
but
don't even know what that means, really, but
it's punk rock, baby.
yeah,
So
so
I
edgy.
anyway was watching the Hunt for Gollum because I watched it, years ago.
Oh, I never actually saw it myself.
Yeah, I mean it's been out for 15 years, and it
Yeah, I
is
know.
it is it is a really well made movie. It's like 45 minutes long or something like that, and
Nice. I have seen
or it's
Tolkien,
39
fan
minutes long.
films before, but
But it's yeah, the production value and everything is surprisingly good for what I think it was like
yeah,
a
self-funded,
£3,000 budget, and
crazy.
just some I don't know, some like film students or something just made this
Yeah,
fan film, which was actually an enjoyable watch. So go check it out if you want on YouTube.
nice. Yes, maybe we'll do an episode based on that.
Yeah, no, that would be
Let us
fun.
know if you'd like
Uh,
us to do an episode on the fan film The Hunt for Gollum before the real one comes
maybe
out.
once, yeah, maybe once we have more
License,
info
it
on
is real.
the hunt for Gollum, we can do that.
Yeah.
Um,
If
all
you'd
right,
like us to
so
do that, let us know by sending us an email at loreofthewrongspodcast@gmail.com.
yeah, you got
Anyway,
your plug. Thank you.
there we go. Yeah.
All
Let
right,
us know.
so now can we talk about books?
Yes.
The most
I
exciting and
give you
entertaining
permission.
part. No, I give you permission. You know more
Oh,
about this than I.
thanks. Okay, so so HarperCollins, the publisher for all of Tolkien's stuff these days, had announced a little while ago now that they will be releasing in September a 3-volume book that will gather almost all of the poems written by J.R.R. Tolkien, which includes not just Legendarium stuff, but all the other things. I don't know how much of that will include, like, I wonder if this is original stuff or if it's going to include like his translations of poems. Because, I mean, Beowulf is an epic poem. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I wonder.
it's,
If it's in 3 volumes, I wonder if one of them will be Legendarium, one of them will be outside of
oh,
the
maybe.
Legendarium, and one will be translations or something.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I
Who
should have just
knows?
read this whole article before talking about it. That's how we
As
do things here. We don't do the homework that well.
yeah,
Uh,
but we are journalists apparently.
yeah. Well, yeah. Of fictional news.
Yeah. So anyway,
Anyway, so it's going to be 1,500 pages. It's put together
toothy,
by
toothsome.
yes, yeah, really sink your teeth into it, fibrous volumes. And as it comes to a surprise to absolutely nobody, the editors of this were Christina Scull and Wayne G. Hammond, the legends themselves of collecting Tolkien's stuff and putting it into a form that one could actually read and understand.
Yeah, his notes aren't exactly readable on their
Oh my
own,
god!
which is why we have
I
to
mean,
thank Christopher Tolkien and
yes, seriously.
Hammond and Skull for all of their efforts.
Good God, seriously. Christopher Tolkien, by the way, even though he died, when did he die? Was that 2020?
I think it was more recent, wasn't it?
Let's find
Well,
out.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'll
so
find
yes,
out. Anyway,
he
you
died
keep
in
going.
2020, January 16th,
Oh, it
2020.
was. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay, that was
your
a while
boy.
ago.
Anyway, yeah, I know, right? I keep forgetting that was a long time ago now. It was 4 years ago. Anyway, the point is, he got to see an early version of this, and obviously it took Hammond and Skull years and years and years to do this. But he saw an early version of it and he was very happy about it. He really liked it. He said he praised it as remarkable and immensely desirable, which is probably one of the reasons they're going to charge, I'm sure, plenty for this thing. But I'm still
Yeah.
going to buy it.
Yeah, I have only grown to love his poetry more over time. When I
Yeah,
know you also skipped all the songs and poems when you were
early on.
first
Yeah,
reading, yeah. But
early on for sure.
yeah, now I
I
just
think most of us have. I think on the
yeah,
first
I think most
round,
people because I think you start reading it and then when you realize it's like 3 pages long, you're like, you know what?
This is
I
not
get
that
the
important
idea.
to the story. And to be fair, a lot of it's not important to the story, but it
It's important
does.
to the world a
Yes,
lot of
exactly. It's all
times.
part of the world building, and it is also it's beautiful too. I mean,
Yeah, the
it's
his epic or his lays are like just so just reading that
amazing.
rhythmic sort of poetry is just so pleasing for some reason. I don't
It
know.
is. It can be a little challenging. Like it takes a little bit of time. You have to read it for a little bit to get into the rhythm of it. But once you do, yeah, it's very rewarding to read. It
Yeah,
is. It's
you're just
very
kind of reading it
satisfying.
like prose and then it's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for those. If I don't
Yeah.
get them myself, I'm probably gonna just come over to your house and just kind of like use your copies like I'm at a bookstore and not actually gonna buy anything.
Yeah, I have some white gloves for you to put on first.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
That'll be just fine. Yeah.
And a face shield and yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
Yeah,
There is no announcement of a U.S. edition of that, by the way, so you will have to order it from overseas, which will always add to the price of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's
But
that's just
Amazon will
the way
have
it
an
goes.
ebook. We'll have like a Kindle version, I'm sure. So it'll,
Yeah, you'll be able to consume it, but will you be able
in
to
a
proudly
digital version.
display it on your shelf?
I mean, I don't really like ebooks for that reason because I don't necessarily read all of the books, but I want people to think I have so that I seem smart,
Yeah,
you know?
that's good. What's that one? That one
I
book
don't know.
that?
I didn't read it.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, what were you gonna
No, no,
say? Are you
I
just doing the
don't
bit?
know. I
Okay.
don't no, I don't remember the name of the book. It's the that one book that everybody like claims they've read, but just
I
to
feel
make
like there's
them
a bunch
seem
of
like
those. War and Peace, probably.
ew no.
You know.
I'll need to think about it, but all right. So
Oh, was it? Oh, never mind. I can't. I lost it. I had it, and then it flew away.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Screw
guess it's one of those
it.
titles, huh? Anyway.
um. So is that everything we have?
Yeah, I think we're
Before the sort of big
yeah, we
news.
get into the meat and potatoes, the one that people are either excited to hear us shit on or dreading to hear us be like, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
And
Rings
if
of
that didn't
Power.
give it away, yeah, Rings of Power, the season 2
Yeah,
teaser trailer has released
yeah,
and
it's
we have watched
exciting.
it. Yeah, there
It's one
it
way or
is
another.
weirdly exciting. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
what do we think?
so as we've said, it's always exciting to get more content,
Yeah.
and
And we're
yeah,
getting more.
yeah, we're getting more. That much is at least confirmed. The quality of this
Indeed.
content not yet confirmed. I was more hope. I was more hopeful when I heard there was a trailer, maybe than when after I saw
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I had that same thing. I mean, I went into watching it the first time, I was very optimistic. And now I wouldn't say I'm not definitely not pessimistic, but I'm
No,
definitely nowhere near as optimistic as before I watched it. Yeah. I'm with you on that, John. Thanks.
so I think I think that one of the issues with trailers in general
Yeah. They give
is
you no real information when they're
yeah, they're
teasers
not
like
giving
this.
you real information. They're like teasing a bunch of stuff,
It's all
which
meant to trick you too,
yeah,
to
and
a
it's
degree. Yeah.
and they're showing like exclusively like epic shots and action shots and stuff that may
Yeah.
not represent exactly the whole
Yeah.
shebang. So I feel like that's why you kind of have to take like some aspects of these things with a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're
Agreed.
not getting an overall vibe, I think, of what season two is going to be by just looking at
Yeah.
this
I
teaser.
Yeah, I agree with you. I find that as soon because I can never help myself. I love going to the comments on things until I have to just like, okay, this is really toxic
It's
and I
too
can't
much,
read any more of
yeah.
this. But I was excited to see the comments, and despite the fact that there's really nothing in the trailer as far as I saw that's like anybody should be furious about, people were just raging just in
Yeah.
they just hated it so much when it does like and I just find it funny because you don't know anything. You don't know
No.
like anything. And you're already just like talking about how bad it's gonna be. You don't know anything. Now I'm not saying that it's definitely then going to be good. I'm not paid by Amazon. And if they do, then I would be telling you that.
And yeah, making
Amazon,
fun
hit us up.
of. Okay, well, maybe not.
I'll be corporate chills. Sean can be the reasonable one, and I'll make all the money.
Okay, that I don't know if I like that breakdown exactly, but yeah,
Anyway,
I think it's justified to like be like, yeah, the first season was stupid. I don't expect much or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, yeah,
everybody's entitled to their opinion in general.
of
But yeah,
course,
just
of course.
basing it off of like nothing is.
Yeah,
Although
I
I
don't
did
think you.
see a comment about the first Avengers movie when they do like a a pan around the Avengers, and they had that with a bunch of random elves we don't
They did,
know.
yeah, with Galadriel and
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
what's his name was there too. Yeah,
Elrond was there, and
Elrond.
then
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. So there's some weird stuff in this trailer for sure.
Yeah, definitely weird stuff.
There's
Early on, we see some squirming black goo.
excuse me.
Yeah,
There's
you're excused.
yeah, there are two
Yeah, there
separate
was.
tentacle monsters in this one trailer.
Yeah, and then there was the black goop, and then there was like the Evil Dead tree, which I hope is
Yeah.
not going to do what it did in Evil Dead.
But I so the thing that worries me, I think, most about this trailer is that they're focusing on this like physical blight thing, it seems, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very. It looks
Um
like it looks like in the opening sequence, when the music gets like dark and the black
yeah.
thing comes in. It looks a lot like that, and I didn't think they
So
were going to make it more literal in the show. I thought it was good for the opening title, but again, we don't know anything.
yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that's not the case because I didn't
I
really
agree
like
with
the
you.
whole like this black ooze thing is going to be, blighting the tree and like killing the elves by just being who knows,
Yeah.
set it like turning the egg timer to the right or whatever. But
I mean, it looks like the Venom symbiote, right?
oh
Like,
yeah. So maybe we get some Venom elves. That'd be pretty sick.
I mean, it wouldn't be very faithful to the source material, but it would be entertaining if
It would
nothing
be
else.
rad,
Again,
yeah.
to read the comments section, if
Yeah,
nothing else would make it worth it.
might as well just like go full bore. They're just like, you know what? We can't do this. Let's just let's just have let's do Spider-Man Into the Multiverse in this show.
Yeah, you see Robert Aramayo's Elrond meet
Tobey Maguire.
oh, I was
Or
well, I
no,
was gonna
Toby what's this? Wait, is that
Andrew
his name?
Garfield.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire is the Sam
Why do I
Raimi
think
Spider-Man. Yeah,
yeah, why do it just sounded so
Better
wrong.
House Rules. Yeah,
I don't know why. Anyway, Toby's awesome.
I was gonna say Hugo Weaving's Elrond. Like they would meet each
Oh,
other.
having
Yeah.
a multiverse. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, I meant literally Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Does
'cause
John
Venom-
Mulaney's
Venom's
Spider Ham
there.
make a appearance as well?
Oh yeah, I mean
that would be
naturally.
fun.
No, maybe we don't do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
We
did.
just did an adaptation station by accident. You're welcome,
Hey,
fans.
yeah, no,
Choo choo.
that was that was planned.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't have 0 bits for this episode because
Yeah.
I knew it'd be too long. But yeah, I had a couple more notes.
Yeah.
More moths.
More moths. Yes. I found it interesting, by the way. They did not have any Harfoots or the
Oh yeah,
the
they had
wizard,
no hobbits.
probably to be known as Gandalf, most likely.
I wonder if it's because it would be too revealing, I guess. Maybe
like
there's
well, like you said, they did pick a lot of actiony stuff, and there doesn't tend to be as much action with them, or there wasn't in the first season. But
yeah,
I mean, there was some, but either way,
presumably the moth stuff is related to the Easterlings or something, where they're potentially going. A lot of speculation going.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is speculate. Yeah,
I will say, of the epic action shots, the eagle swooping down to land
behind Farazan.
That
was interesting. I don't know what that means, but I mean, typically the eagles are servants,
the messengers of
Manwë. Yeah. So,
and I don't think that they were huge fans of Farazan.
But at this point, who knows what point that is in the show? We don't know yet, because he wasn't always.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't like sacrificing people yet, so they were probably
spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, it's still
Well, the
cool. Then
Silmarillion came out in 1976. Or
yeah, sorry.
77. It's fine. 78, whatever.
I think we've already mentioned that spoiler a few
Yeah,
times in
that's
our
right.
show, but
I'd say that's kind of what we do is we talk about the books. So that's been our main
yeah.
thing so far. So
Um, but yeah, I mean, and then and then I have Anatar, Lord of Wigs.
yeah, we see Charlie Vickers as Sauron back with a blonde wig on, which, to be fair, is how I always envisioned how Anatar, Lord of Gifts. That's what Anatar means in Quenya, by the way. Ana means gifts, and Tar, as we know, means Lord or King. So Gift
Yeah,
King.
so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that storyline. I'm kind of hopeful for that storyline with Celebrimbor and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah. It would be hilarious though if it was just the wig is the only thing that like, makes him look different from Halbrand. It's just the
yeah,
wig. It'd be pretty great. And
oh,
yeah, it's like a
I
Clark
did
Kent
see.
situation with the glasses where you
Yeah,
can't tell. It's like, whoa, 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 where did Superman go? Clark, did you see him? He was just here.
he was standing right in front of me.
It's crazy.
He does look a bit different,
He does
but
look a bit different.
I mean,
Different
I think
clothes and everything too, but
it's more of a case of like none of these people have ever seen me before. The only ones
yeah.
who would know who he was and what he looked like would be
Yeah.
Galadriel and
Well, in the
Elrond.
show, he does meet like Halbrand.
Uh,
Remember, call it a gift.
oh no, Celebrimbor knows too. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, like in the book, Elrond and Galadriel and Gil-galad are all like, "Oh, we can't trust this fucking guy. We're not sure who this is
and then
anyway, but we can't trust him."
Celebrimbor like
But
he
Celebrimbor is kind of
actively
like
makes
lets
the
himself.
choice.
Yeah, he like lets himself be tricked because he's so like excited to get this like ring lore and learn how to like make these
Yeah,
sorts of
he
things.
was
He's
tempted by
blinded by
Sauron
Yeah,
instead
he's
of
blinded by
tricked
his ambition
by
and his
him.
yeah. So that could still work, like this willful ignorance or this
Also,
willful.
did they even tell Celebrimbor at the end of the first season? I don't
Well,
think they
that's the thing.
did.
I don't know if they do. Like, I could
Yeah,
see like Galadriel just like running off and trying to like find him again. Sauron, it's I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't think they don't show anybody saying like, dude, that guy Halbrand was totally Sauron the whole time. It's like we didn't get that scene.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get that. I'm assuming we'll find out early in the first episode.
yeah.
Um,
My guess is that they tell the powers that be, and
yeah,
it will end up being probably like you could tell Celebrimbor kind of had a soft spot for Halbrand
yeah,
anyway,
definitely, yeah.
so he might just be like, hey, so we shouldn't be doing this, but do you think you could put a ring on it or um
um,
yeah, were there
yeah.
other sort of
Things to talk about with the
scenes?
Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, there was like that giant sea monster. We'll see what
Oh
that
yeah,
ends
that
up
was the
being
other
about.
tentacle monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the actual tentacles on that big monster. Yeah, we don't know what that is. It was alluded to, I guess, there was like a sea monster in the first season when Galadriel again decides to swim back to Middle Earth from Numenor, uh, and
Yeah.
finds the shipwrecked Halbrand and all that. Blah 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 blah. There's a big sea
I
monster
mean,
that's going after him, but
there is
I don't know.
precedent for sea monsters
There
in.
is, there is.
I mean, Watcher in the Water, just to you know, just
Certainly, yeah.
as an example. But he does say that there are like
Big
creatures
things.
from the void that crept into our world or something along those lines. And
Say, I think that's. I think you're confusing that with H.P. Lovecraft. No, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
It,
no, I
and
mean
Yeah,
basically.
no, Gandalf does talk about that. Say in the Council of Elrond, I think, when it's suggested that he talks about Saruman saying we should just like put it. Someone says we
Oh
should throw it in the ocean or something.
yeah,
He said something about like
he would just end up getting an evil sea dolphin to go get it from the bottom or something. I think that's what he was
Yeah.
implying. I don't remember this the scene exactly, but yeah, no, that was cool. I mean, there are definitely a lot of cool shots and action moments that we saw. It's
Yeah,
just a question of the
what they mean, the
context of
context.
them.
Yeah, which we
Yeah.
don't have. Again, I say to people, I'm not saying you must like it. If you want to hate it, but wait until you actually see it. It's my thing. It's like
Yeah.
I find frustrating is people get so emotional. It's like if you don't like it, that's fine. It doesn't ruin anything. The books are still the books. You know, I just don't think you should get that upset. If it's bad, it's bad. So what?
Yeah, I think
Go in hoping for the best. If you're disappointed, well, you know what? Life can be disappointing sometimes,
I don't know.
but it
One
goes on.
thing it yes, it does. But I think one thing people might be upset about is that people are being like, is that watchers of this who haven't read the books or maybe even seen the older movies. We know a guy who was in that situation. They might be like misinformed by this stuff,
Right.
but I mean, there's definitely some misinformation in the first season, but there's also a lot of stuff that's just
Well, it's like,
maybe it's faithful, maybe it's not, but it's like it's fill in the blank.
yeah. I mean, listen, it's people say fan fiction, all adaptation, all of it is fan fiction.
Yeah,
Peter Jackson
or
movies,
you would
fan
hope.
fiction. Yeah. Well, like you can't do a perfect adaptation because
It just
things have
doesn't
to change
translate.
based on the medium. You know, you can't
Unless you want to watch a movie that's I don't know,
bad.
30 hours long and has a lot
Right.
of like downtime and people
Yeah.
singing long, slow songs and
Yeah, you guys really want
uh
to sit for like 15 minutes while Aragorn recites the Lay of Lathian to the hobbits at Weathertop?
yes.
You would bitch and moan about how it's too slow and boring. That's what you would complain about.
I oh, sorry, you wanted me to say no. No, I would not want that.
I mean, I personally wouldn't mind that. That's the thing. It's like you'd be if you could do a perfect adaptation of a story, the book fans of it might really enjoy it and be appreciative and love it. But again, these
It would be
things are
unwatchable as a
it would be
movie.
unwatchable as a movie. It wouldn't make for a good movie. And
Yeah,
that's what they are supposed to be. And again, I've been asked by a lot of people. They all know, my friends know I'm a big Tolkien geek. Like, do you think this is a cash grab? Do you think, this is fan fiction? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, of course it's both. Of course it is. But
yeah.
that doesn't mean it can't be good. That said, not going to be very optimistic for Rings of Power. And I hope I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised is really
Yeah,
like
I hope the
my
same.
attitude going in.
Yeah, as you said, I don't want to make final judgments, but my final judgment is we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, again, judgments are based on things you know, but we really, like I said, we don't know very much about what this is going to be. What we do know, though, is the release date, and that is going to be August 29th of this year. It's a Thursday, which works out for Sean and I. Days off.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm excited. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. The first 3 episodes are going to come out immediately. There's a total of 8 in the season, and then every week after that.
Yeah, so it's I think was it first 2 or first 3 for the first
I think
season?
it was the first 2 for
Yeah, they're kind of just like, all right, we got to get this thing out.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that kind of wraps up all we wanted to talk about, right?
I think that's it for this week in Tolkien news.
Yeah, we
Actually, we covered a few months worth of Tolkien news actually in that one.
Yeah, yeah. This quarter in Tolkien news.
Yeah, that's right. It's our welcome back after slacking off episode. So
yeah, we'll be back to sort of our normal content.
We hope
with our next episode. Well, who knows?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do our damnedest.
All right, so Zerby, can you give us a little bit of a fun fact about Tolkien?
Is it my turn to be Lord of the Wrongs?
Yeah, It
Well,
looks like the
fortunately,
Lord
I
of the
have
Rings
a
is good.
fact this time around because what? Oh, what? What's that? I'm just getting this in right now. There's a new development
Oh,
for the.
breaking news,
We
everybody.
have breaking news for the Hunt for Gollum, the Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis film to be coming out in 2026. We have news. Who's going to be doing the score and the music for this? And
Okay.
it's Taylor Swift. They're trying to capitalize on her popularity, and I think it makes sense. I think it's a good move.
Wow, that's a
And,
big get,
it's a
honestly.
huge get. It's a really big. This is actually going to be really good for the franchise as a whole.
Is
You know,
it?
it's gonna make it. It's gonna listen. The Swifties love their girl, and they will do whatever they have to support her. And it doesn't matter really what she does. It's gonna Lord of the
So you
Rings is gonna be the new thing among tweens and yeah, everybody
so
between
you
tweens and
think
like 25.
a bunch of recently dumped women between the ages of 10 and 30 are gonna watch The Hunt for Gollum?
Of course they are.
That
Taylor's doing
was
the soundtrack.
I think
Were you
when
not listening?
I think after that comment, I'm gonna have to correct myself again next episode as well. What you said is fine. No,
There's
yeah,
not going to
I'm
be a correction.
excited.
It's real.
So at one point, it's gonna be like Gollum just kind of busts out into like "It's me." I don't know any of the rest of that song.
I was
When
trying to think of literally any Taylor Swift
when my
lyrics.
girlfriend
I don't know that many, so
listens
yeah, I
to
was gonna
it'll
say.
be on like TikTok or whatever, and I just fully just tune it out at this point, unfortunately. Can't wait. Yeah, that's exciting.
She wears high heels, I wear sneakers. There we go.
Oh,
These
wow.
are sneakers.
I didn't know how much I needed that. Thanks.
Anyway, join us next time on Gollum Sings Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Gollum's on The Voice next episode.
Oh no, Masked Singer actually. That was
Oh yeah, that
yeah.
probably makes more sense. He's just
Yeah, you got to
crawling
cover
around
that
on
face.
stage. I wonder who this could be.
It's like, oh, her ex-boyfriend is so juicy sweet.
All right. We
Anyway,
should probably stop.
yeah, that we should probably stop this. The whole thing. Let's just call it
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our
Yeah. Where can the people find us, Zerby?
yeah, well, the people can find us. We're on Instagram. Our handle is Lord of the Wrongs Podcast, and you can also DM us there or email us at lordofthewrongspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you'd like us to cover. Let us know if our voices are sexually appealing. Whatever,
Or
validation would be fantastic.
let us know milk first or cereal first.
Ooh, that's a good, or bowl first. I think bowls first is the way to go myself, but
I
we'd
just
like
go.
to hear what you have to think.
I pour the cereal out of the box, pour the milk into the bag in the box, and then pour the cereal back in.
Oh, that's actually really smart. That way,
It?
it's ready to go for next time.
Yeah, I just leave it in there to become sort of a sludge.
And you add it to your protein shake, and you're ready to kick some ass. Anyway,
All right. With that, I
join
guess
us
we'll
next time.
say Namadia.
Namadia, friends. Join us next time.